Okay, I'm flying blind. I don't know. Let me see if I. All right, it's better late than never. It's still a test. I'm still learning. But as you can see, I still have this. I still have this. I just don't have my iPhone connecting here. I thought maybe it was a cord. If you're still watching, I apologize first of all for being 8 minutes late there. I realized something. I realized my USB cord that was connecting my iPhone to the back of my iMac was not plugged into my iMac. So I guess you could say it wasn't plugged into my iMac, but I can still do this. So it's not receiving I'll just keep it here for now just to give you some video. So I wasn't, it was working yesterday. And if you see here, see my cursor, yeah. Something is off with my, something is off with my iPhone. It's something with the connection. But anyway, all right, here's the full screen. And you're seeing exactly what I'm seeing. So let's not waste any more time. I wanted to, as I'm still developing, I wanted to give you a nice update on the progress I've been making. I know I'm a young channel here, and let me see. Let me bring up my my Chrome. I learned that how to make two different profiles. So I have some of my stuff on this newer profile. Once it gets started, I have some things over here I want to talk about. Oh, I have a lot of stuff to talk about. See, I named that live stream. All right. And I guess it would be good for you too. It's a behind the scenes now to let you know a little bit what's involved here. So I have, all right. All right, here we go. As a good segue, right here you can see my Visionary Ventures page right here, and it's live. It's not a PDF, as you can see. There's my URL, buymeacoffee.com/visionaryventures, and I'm in desperate need of higher tech equipment and higher tech capability. Now, this has to be revised a little bit because since then I've gotten some things. Maybe you can comment on or give me advice, give me feedback on what I have here. I wanted to show this off because, well, frankly, I don't know how many people have actually visited my page, but right here, Visionary Ventures, that's my YouTube channel, but it's more than a YouTube channel. It is, I think, my company. I think of it as an entertainment company. I want to make my childhood dream come true, at least in whatever way I can. I want to make videos, obviously, but I grew up watching television, and I think of this as like my television studio. I've got to keep, I've got to become accustomed to talking to nobody, just talking into the camera. I've got my iPhone up. I can see myself in my preview. So I'm just going to pretend like I'm talking to myself, which I guess I am. Hopefully not. Hopefully I've got listeners here. But all right. So you can see Visionary Ventures, and this explains I create videos and storytelling projects that explore ideas, identity, and transformation. Deep thinking commentary, and I admit I did use ChatGPT. I've been using ChatGPT for, not for my more creative aspects, but to put my thoughts into words and phrase it best on YouTube, and thinking up my hashtags and so forth. So it may seem a little, slightly ChatGPT footprinted. But basically, with Visionary Ventures, I have 4 different podcasts. And let me just go over to Visionary Ventures. Let's go over to my YouTube channel for a moment here. Hope there's nothing. Should be there. Okay, you get to see stuff that's okay. View my channel. All right, so let me see. These shorts I created a while back. Now they're still up. I don't want to get rid of them. You can see I created a bunch of them. This was, don't give the dates, but this would have been something like a year ago. Well, definitely a year ago, perhaps over a year ago. And when I started the channel, I was talking about improving yourself, examining your mind, examining past experiences and so forth. Very psychological, very introspective. So I initially called it Introspection with Jeff. And so I was posting these pretty much every day. I still have those up, but I want to create new shorts. And so perhaps I'll find some way of grouping them together in a folder or something. So these are my videos, and they go quite a bit back. Now, the reason why there are a lot of Samantha videos here is because, and if you don't know who Samantha is, I'll just mention it briefly. I'm developing an alter ego. I like to cross-dress and develop my persona, female persona. So that's why you're seeing a lot of them were transferred over from a separate YouTube channel that I had initially created in addition to Visionary Ventures, and I planned that for her music, like promoting the music and as a more celebrity professional channel. However, I wanted to keep up use of that channel, so I started doing a journey, like how I develop my look, and over time learning more how I do that. You may notice that in these titles. And after a while, I believed, as I developed this channel, I believed I don't want to have that give away my secrets. Like I want, on that other channel, I want it to be purely Samantha Bahar, and that's it. No connection. I want to keep up the illusion on that other channel. So that other channel still exists, should still exist. So that's why I migrated. I physically deleted those, saved them, downloaded these videos, and then uploaded them to this channel. So that's why there are a bunch of them all at the same time, all at once. So that's not exclusively my channel. I mean, that's not exclusively my content. So here, well, I'll get to that in a moment. So here I have my 2 podcasts. I have more than 2 podcasts in mind. I have another podcast in the works. Maybe you can see it here. I have another podcast in the works called Encounters into the Unseen. That's going to be my documentary podcast, and I have some ideas for that. If you've ever seen Unsolved Mysteries or In Search of, or what I would call fun documentaries about the paranormal, that's the channel that I want. Or even the TV show Sightings in the 1990s. That's what I'm aiming for. So that's going to be a 3rd podcast, and then a 4th. So this is the podcast you're watching now, Ideas Between Us. That's my vlog. That's in some sense a way of keeping my channel active. I share literally ideas between us, and I want it to be more like one-on-one, like you're watching me and I'm updating you on what I've been doing on the channel and how I've been progressing and so forth. So this is Pop Persona, the Samantha Bahar project. It's a project of basically this kind of stuff where as I dress up, I I share more of what's involved in becoming both a female impersonator and developing my voice, developing my singing, developing my music, and I can't do it in front of this right here because you won't be able to see it. But I got a book. I show in one of my earlier live streams. I got a book, Melody in Songwriting, by Jack Perricone, and I'm going to be using that. And I'll show you my discography in a moment. But sorry. So going back to podcasts, that's going to be what this channel is about. And I admit I can't look as good as that, but I'm going to try with makeup and so forth. Then over here, I'm going to have that Encounters podcast. I'd say about 26. I'm aiming for 24 to 26 episodes for a season, in league with what you would see on a television show. And I should be able to come up with a good lineup for the first season. That's going to be about UFOs. And I've talked about in prior videos that I want to not just show random cases, not just show random episodes about UFO cases, but I want to show them the cases in chronological order so that over the arc, yes, there's going to be an arc, over the arc of that season, I'm going to take it from simply sightings in the sky to this modern UFO myth, Roswell, alien abductions, and so forth. And what's semi-unique about this podcast is that I'm going to explain the summary. I'm going to summarize the basic case, what was reported, and then they're going to be 42 minutes, about 42 minutes long. Over the course of the episode, I will explain alternative explanations and what I suspect probably happened or possibly happened, more mundane explanations. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have a disclaimer. In fact, I'm going to go right now. What better time than right now where's that disclaimer? By the way, there's my bumper. I'm going to show you that in a moment. And then here's
This
the
series
disclaimer.
presents accounts of unexplained events based on research and
I'm not hearing
testimony.
anything.
While
Hopefully
extraterrestrial
you're hearing
explanations are
a
common, this
computer-generated
program
voice
also
reading this
considers
off.
scientific and historical
So
alternatives.
that's like
Viewer
Unsolved
discretion is
Mysteries and these
advised.
other documentary series. Now, this, by the way, is what you will see at the end of the episode. So, this
series presents accounts of unexplained events based on research and testimony. While extraterrestrial explanations are common, this program also considers scientific and historical alternatives. Viewer discretion is advised.
Credits playing on screen at the end. There's going to be a fade out. It's going to be a professional production. Then at the very end, you'll see that. And that's like what you'd see, when you watch a television
This
show,
series
even
presents
like The
accounts
Simpsons.
of unexplained
When you watch a
events
television
based
show,
on
they
research
show
and
you the ending
testimony.
credits,
While
and then they'll show
extraterrestrial
Fox
explanations
or,
are common, this program also considers scientific and historical
Tanner Productions or
alternatives.
whatever. You'll see that. So that's my video. And then, let me see. I've got opening scene, which hasn't been created yet. Let me go back. Some of these haven't been created yet. Let's go back to that. So I'm going to, and then the other podcast is, let me see. The 80s toy aisle. That's going to be a fun calibration, it's going to be a fun calibration too. It's going to be a nerve-wracking calibration, but it's going to be a fun collaboration between myself and one of my friends, and we're both interested in Transformers and GoBots and Mask and hopefully Visionaries and a lot of other 80s toys. I might branch off. I don't want to leave the female audience out, but I'm a guy, so I grew up with guys, boys' toys. So I will try to include, Barbie and whatever else, Gem and so forth in there. Although there's some interesting crossover in terms of boys and girls between Gem. It was made by the same people who did G.I. Joe and the same writers, same production people who did G.I. Joe and Transformers and so forth. So that was interesting. And Inhumanoids. So those are the four. Now and I've shown you that. I also want to show you my Amazon, which didn't come here. Here. Yes, you can see. You're gonna see my search engines here. There we go. All right. So I've had this up for a while. There's my nice picture, so you can see what I look like. And here. So that's what I have here. The reason I have reason why I have this set up, is because it's one of America's greatest secrets. I've had these up for a little while. They're short. I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to be. I admit right here, right now, I will use ChatGPT to help me in writing it, but I will be the final author. I'm using it for research. As a matter of fact, I'm using Google Drive. I can show you that later if you want, but Google within, if you don't know, there. Okay, so this is what I've been learning a lot about YouTube, all these different ones. I'm trying to learn more about them. I don't want to show you Google Drive yet, because it has files with other people's names on it, and my projects that I don't want to reveal yet, like my music and so forth. So, and notes. So, but it's a listing, and it has it's broken down in interesting ways. It has Linehan Holdings LLC, and then underneath that, I plan to have Samantha Bahar's own sub LLC, and then also Visionary Ventures. YouTube, I'm showing you already, and down, where's that notebook? Yeah, here, right here. So I also don't want to show you that right now, but because it has the name of one of my books, topics of one of my books, and I don't want anybody else to see it and say, "Oh, that's an interesting idea for a book," and then go ahead of me. But I will store ideas for my number one, my books. Number two, my television series. Another thing that I don't want to show you here, but I do want to share with you the fact that I have a Vimeo account set up, and I want to create television pitches, videos, and movie pitch videos. And those are going to be for executives and people, more professionally oriented people, people who are in a position to greenlight and professionally work with me. So that's okay. So going back to this, I do have several books here. That's my attempt at an autobiography, or actually a memoir. Difference between a memoir and autobiography. That's just a short thing, and I don't charge that much because they're not that long. But hopefully with ChatGPT, I can share with Chat what I'd want to put into the book. I can help revise, organize my material, organize my chapters. ChatGPT has been a great help in collaborating with me as a useful tool to collaborate with in getting my ideas out. I in some sense, I think what possibly slowed me down was that I didn't have someone to collaborate with on my movie projects and TV projects. I have several I should elaborate further on what I meant about TV projects. Of course, movie projects. It refers to a wholly original idea for a movie. But I have several ideas for TV series that I don't want to share here with you. But I have some sitcoms. And these ideas go back to college, right around 1999 or 2000. I started developing them. I have a great I have a great idea for a workplace sitcom in the vein of in the vein of Barney Miller or WKRP. I like the old, what people would call old, but no, I want to call them the classics because they've held up. They have something of value for them. But I do want to modernize them. I'm not blind to the need for creating modern day stuff. So I have at least one workplace sitcom. I've got an intriguing science fiction slash let me see, what do they call well, I'll say detective show. I'm not giving that much out, but cross between a detective show and a sci-fi show. And I've got several other things reminiscent of the shows that I grew up watching, but in a modern flair, so to speak. So I'm going to be working on further books. I want to develop this idea for memoir into something thicker, something more like an actual book. And my other book, primarily I have in mind and I also want to develop this further. I was thinking like what I've learned from Star Trek, philosophy from Star Trek in terms of a better life, as some former classmates of mine here ad nauseum. I've been sharing, how Star Trek can enrich one's life and so forth. I think I'm not the only one, if I remember correctly. I think I remember there was one book called something like how all that I ever needed to know I learned from watching Star Trek, something like that. But I want to put my hand into it and create my own book. So there's one book. I want to create a memoir, a better memoir, better organized and written memoir. This is a like kind of for adults only short story, and I have several other short stories in mind. I was also thinking of putting my short stories together as a book, because frankly I can get more money that way. But no, but it seems more legitimate if I put them together as a book rather than just a short story that somebody reads and so forth. So this is a collection of all of the stories that I've created. Now, what I left out, sadly, but smartly, were the ones where I was using other people's intellectual property. So I had written several television scripts of Married with Children and Night Court and Star Trek, of course, Star Trek, and other things. I didn't want to risk this being screwed up, by using my stories that were essentially scripts and novellas for with using other people's intellectual property. So you think that looks like me? I sort of think it looks like me, and I'm glad that it's me looking in a movie theater, because that's how I've imagined myself watching movies and creating them, hopefully. So this is all my intellectual property, should be anyway. Now, this is a short thing that actually was at the end. It was originally an idea tacked on to the end of Seeking Sunshine, my memoir, and you can tell why it was initially thought of as a tack on, but I decided to make it separate. I'll go through this. This is why I have not been publicizing my bookshelf on Amazon as much, because I want to revise them. But this is substantial. That's why I put the higher price tag on this. I think these were the smallest prices I could do. That's a little bit more because it's pretty thick. It's really thick. So shown you that. There's my profile again. And I may be changing that. And there's that. And before you accidentally see some weird thing that I didn't notice, I'm going to get out of there. Now, let me go over here and whoop, share some of this stuff. All right. And I've gone through this beforehand, so I should be safe when it comes to accidentally showing something. See, these are my YouTube, these are my notes on what I want. These are ideas, frankly, for some episodes of the 80s Toy Aisle. Now, I see this as a live collaboration, or have you ever seen, there's a YouTube channel called Good, Bad, or Bad, Bad. And that's what I've had in mind. I don't know if they do this stuff live. I don't think so. I think they pre-record it and they put it up on the channel. But I'm going to have one person here. I get to use my cursor here. This is my YouTube channel. This is what you'd be seeing. So my face would be over here, and his face will be over here, and we'll be chatting. And I don't want to have it just as a, ooh, what toys did you get? No, no, no. If you see here, I don't know if I should make this larger or not, but you should be able to see that. Let me see. There we go. Okay. So hopefully you're still able to see this. So these are some ideas for episodes. And I've done that a little bit now. How do I get, oh, here, let me click out of that for a moment. There we go. Okay, good. All right, still learning how to do this. Now, let's get to the discography. Now, I don't want to show you the actual notes I have about these songs, but I have in my Google Drive, for those of you who are curious about hacking into my stuff, on my Google Drive, I have each one of these. These are working titles, and I have yet to actually develop the music. I'm learning, but I'm a great concept person. So I would be performing these as Samantha, dressed up and singing. I'm going to develop my singing voice. I do want to get back to that vision, that buy me a coffee, after I've gone through this stuff, so it'll make more sense. In my notes, I had the title, this working title, and then a summary of what I want in my song. And to the side, in parentheses here, I had a feeling of what I wanted the song to sound like. So I had a list of about 22 songs, and then I knew that typically a CD, at least in the olden days, the before time, had about 11 tracks per CD. And I had 22, which would be enough theoretically to blindly form 2 albums. But that's not necessarily the case, because I know the album should flow, should have a pace. So I just kept it as a list of 22 tracks. And here, this is all created by Chat. This is copied and pasted from what ChatGPT gave me. Now, I did have 2 special themed albums. Let me see if they're in here somewhere. At the bottom. The other one I probably didn't bother to share with ChatGPT. Yeah, because I guess for whatever reason, although this one I included. The 4th album I have in mind is specifically Jewish themed album. That's the Hebrew term for Messiah. The Hebrew concept, the original Hebrew concept of Messiah, is very different from the Christian concept. So I have 4 in mind so far. And this isn't gospel music. It's Jewish. It would be Jewish music. It would be deeply my own deep thoughts. I would be merely putting on a persona of Samantha Bahar and singing it in a feminine voice. And the CDs would be the same way. They would all be. It would be an illusion. They would be Samantha Bahar, me dressed up as Samantha Bahar, creating the illusion with the feminine sounds and the music and so forth, professionally done. Like you would see, Paul Rubens created an alter ego, Pee Wee Herman, and Cassandra Peterson created um, Elvira, and a role model of mine created actually him. He created a feminine alter ego, and he was involved in music too. Um, so that I'm kind of going in her footsteps. But I'm doing it for 80s. This is all 80s. I don't want to say retro. It's just evoking, reinvigorating the 80s ambiance. So I had that. Plus, the third album I have in mind is a Halloween album. Halloween is my favorite holiday, aside from Passover. It's all the rich lore and so forth. So I didn't, for whatever reason, I did not include it in here, but I have 6 tracks in mind already for that Halloween album. It's not going to be like Monster Mash. What I did was I took themes like zombies or the end of the world or ghosts or whatever, and I wasn't so superficial. I asked myself, what's at the core of this? What would I really want to sing about for, the end of the world, for an example. And I wanted to sound like something like Prince's 1999, or I forget her name, not Gloria Gaynor. There's a singer who's in whose song is in the original 1984 Ghostbusters movie. I wanted to sound climactic, and I won't get into the other stuff because it's you probably don't want to hear all that, but you get the general idea. So I had my 22 songs, my 22 tracks, and so using what I fed into ChatGPT, it came up with the subgenres. My regular genre would be pop, and so I figured in order to figure out the order of each of the 2 CDs, I wanted to have them placed in sequenced by mood. So it figured out this sequence. So you have the 2 albums there. And I can see these are my actual deep felt personal experiences. But I would be switching the gender when I sing it, and the lyrics would be as a woman would sing them. But I'm using inspiration. I'm drawing inspiration from my own experiences, like 1980s. Grew up going to a shopping mall, and I take it further than just walking around a shopping mall. The song would be about how you don't truly miss the things until they're gone, and sadly shopping malls are really in essence gone, or that 1980s verve is gone. And I sing about my childhood friend, of course changing genders and changing a little bit of the details, but the meaning, the spiritual, so to speak, meaning behind the song is the same. So that's that. And here's my bumper script. Okay, before I show that to you, here, let me just play. This is in process, so I'm just going to play the bumper here. Hopefully you can hear the sound. All right, so hopefully you like that. So that's in progress, and I'd used Canva in order to assemble the stuff there. Well, first of all, what I did was I knew my idea was creating a network bumper. Um, what I mean is a 30-second, you know how in TV shows they have commercials for what's on their station, or what's on their network, like this fall, watch Family Ties, and then Cosby Show, and it shows some clips of Cosby Show. It's a preview of what you'd be seeing on the network. Well, I need shorts. I need digital shorts. I don't need clothing shorts. I need shorts to show on TikTok and to use as advertisement. So 30 seconds is a good length of time. It would fit on TikTok, it would fit on YouTube, and so forth. So I had in mind nice music, exciting music in the background, and some video, and basically previewing what my 4 podcasts are about. So this is what ChatGPT came up with. So this is basically the script. It would start with the first 3 seconds would be a network open, which you'd seen there. This is what it recommended. And then I was able to find on Canva, I was able to find clips that I was able to insert in. And I'm learning more about Canva too, by the way. Sadly, I don't have access to AI video generation. With that, I can be able to produce more, and that's in my that's all in my Buy Me a Coffee page that I'll show you in a moment again. So with that AI video generation, I'll be able to recreate, create. First of all, I'll be able to create video pitches for my TV series and for my movies, and I'll have an elaborate list of different segments. What I like about video AI generation is that you can create a prompt and you have the image of what you want to see in mind. It'll generate it, and then you can assemble it together and show to executives. Like, for example, not that long ago, well, further back, what creatives would do would be TV creatives and aspiring producers, and so executive producers, which I am, would be to have a lot of text and a lot of drawings and so forth. And executives, being who they are, they tend to look at it, glance at it, and you have to be a real showman in order to sell your product, because you're one of like thousands. I'll keep it mild, I'll keep it humble. Thousands, probably hundreds of thousands, pitching to people, pitching to executives, and you want to beat them out. So the odds are stacked heavily against you. So, and yet I chose this profession. It chose me, I guess. My heart chose it. So some clever executives were able to figure out how to splice together shots of other movies or other TV shows or video home movies that they had taken, whatever, and splice it together into a pitch, a pitch reel, what's called a pitch reel. Now in our modern age, some may be still doing that, but creating a sequence, a mini video of AI generated smaller video snapshots will act as a pitch reel. The executives who may or may not have great imagination themselves will be deciding whether to greenlight your project or not. You either get funding and will create your project, or I don't understand this and I don't like the way the music was used there. So you want to have as much control in the creation of your pitch reel, how your pitch reel comes across as possible. So in addition to that, I can also use AI video generation to create, for example, encounters, recreate video of an alien abduction, or a lonely street or something like that, you've got to have something video. You've got to have some kind of video, something showing on screen. So since I don't have a huge group of actors, I don't have a huge studio behind me, backing me, AI video generation would be a very cost efficient, effective, frankly inexpensive way of doing it, because I want to put my ideas on camera. So basically, what you had this promo that I showed you been complete, you would have seen that opening with the stars, the sparkles of light, with the exciting music starting in. It would have shown in quick flashes, would have shown the camera, would have shown ideas between us, the camera, the man, the idea that this is a podcast, and then it would have shown the title card, ideas between us. Then coming up, it would have had pop persona. You saw it at the beginning. It did say pop persona, stage spotlight, makeup brush, somebody getting dressed, getting made up and so forth, getting prepared for concert performance, so forth. That's kind of the impression through imagery of what that podcast will be about. And then the third would be encounters, foggy forest night, abandoned building hallway, static glitch overlay, unexplained, so very mysterious. So you get a sense, hopefully like Unsolved Mysteries, and you'd see an alien, a saucer, a flying saucer, and you get some sense of what, through imagery and some little bit of text, you get some sense of what Encounters, the documentary series, will be about. Encounters into the unseen. And then the 80s toy aisle. Now this is where I ran into problems. There were frankly intellectual property problems where I couldn't be able to show shots of Transformers that I could find on Canva. I did think, ChatGPT did suggest using my own toys, because I guess that would not be, technically, I guess there wouldn't be a problem with sharing my own shots or video clips of my own toys, but I still I don't even want to risk having this promo be legally in trouble because of that. So I'm going to work on that. But that would be the next set of clips. And then this point, the music is really climaxing, and you'd see in quick succession, Visionary Ventures, original podcast and series, now streaming on YouTube. I want to make it very professional looking, and it's gonna, and da-da, the music is gonna go da-da, and then the video will fade out. So that's it for that. Now you understand what I'm getting with, what the point is with that video. Hopefully you understand what the point is. Here, I can show you a little bit. This is one of my workplace sitcom ideas. I want to show you basically these universal themes. This is a list I made, and I'm looking to Barney Miller primarily on how to construct this series. This is a workplace sitcom that I thought, first of all, it's politically oriented. It takes place in a political office. So if you've ever seen Barney Miller, you might catch on that it's very thematic, very well organized. May not seem so watching the episode, but if you have a trained eye like I am, if you've gone through school like I have, school for this, a degree in television, radio, and film, you might pick up that there are definite themes. So whereas those themes are about society at large, I wanted to pinpoint my ideas on what's going on politically with our culture. The Dunning-Kruger effect, that's where basically I like to say you're too stupid to know that you don't know everything. Here, let me expand this so you can see it better. So, justice, these are the different themes, and I imagine each would be a different episode. And so each, there'd be like 3 plots going on, just as in typical Barney Miller episodes. There would be 2 kind of external objective story problems, and then there would be a personal story typically affecting one of the main characters, one of our main characters, going through, and they would all match in terms of the same theme. They would all be different perspectives on the same theme. So let me get back to that. All right. So I'm still in good sitting. Here, let's go on to this, the electronic press kit for Samantha Bahar. So, and this I use ChatGPT to help with as well. Artist biography. You can look up more about what an electronic press kit is. But I'll tell you quickly, it's publicity, it's promo, advertising. It's usually what it used to be like a flyer or a kit. That's why they would call it a kit. Nowadays, it'd be a digital kit. But it would show basically the artist's, the singer's name, a biography, some details, so forth, and you talk about the music and so forth. So here's some notes on her and context, so forth. So there's that, and there's a more advanced version. I've already talked about the electronic press kit, though. Let me see, trademarking. Let me go back now to this. All right. And actually, let me make this full screen so you can see it. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you're still able to see it. Otherwise, you'll just be hearing my voice. So some of this is outdated. It explains my purpose, which I've been talking about before. So this is for these items down here that I'm asking, I'm asking for donations to be able to finance. Go to both Visionary Ventures and Samantha Bahar. 2 separate things. Visionary Ventures is my production company, basically, and Samantha Bahar would be the music and performance and so forth, and getting my persona as her believable, and creating the illusion that she's a real woman singing and so forth. So here, goal 1. So all this right now this is phase 1. That's establishment, getting my YouTube channel up and running, and then goal 2 would be the actual music, because at that point my YouTube channel would be up and running. It should be on course itself, and phase 2 would be music, more related to getting Samantha really off the ground and established, and that involves separate things. It involves such separate things that I didn't want to include it within the establishment of the YouTube channel. So an external 4K camera. I am using my iPhone right now. It's an iPhone 8, which is pretty outdated. I think they're up to iPhone 16 or whatever. But this would be nice. This isn't necessarily in order of what's really needed. I suppose this part, as opposed to this part, is in order kind of what's needed, what's priority. Final Cut Pro, in terms of editing my footage together and creating a professional appearance, because on YouTube, professional presentation is everything. I'm becoming like paranoid. I guess that's a sign of an up and coming YouTube content creator. If other viewers will likely immediately leave your video if it's not entertaining enough or it's not professionally done, and kind of rightly so, I guess. I started off, and even a year ago, I thought I was ready for getting a lot more viewers, and I'm grateful. I'm very thankful for the subscribers I already have and the views that I already have. I value each one of them, but I would like to grow them further. I would like to grow and develop the channel further because I believe I have something good to say. I have a lot of entertaining content and so forth. So right now I've been using iMovie to edit my stuff together. And I'm learning now how to use Canva. However, Final Cut Pro would allow me to do further stuff, probably more professional stuff. Um, I am holding off on the teleprompter. Right now, I have my computer screen in front of me, so I'll be able to use that while glancing up and looking at my iPhone. I have a ring light up here with an iPhone just under the ring light part of it. So I'll be able to glance down. And I was practicing that yesterday. It really bums me out that you can't see my face, but I'm progressing rapidly. It seems I'm progressing rapidly. So you should be able to see that soon. So I'm holding off on this right now. That's why I need to revise this page. I would still like a 2 terabyte external hard drive to be able to store my projects, just in case anything happens. I don't want to just store them on YouTube because you may have known, was it Video Apocalypse or whatever they had a few years back? Don't trust YouTube. I think even they would say don't trust YouTube as your only source of storing your content. So, okay. So down here, this is more Samantha Bahar performance work, styling, basically makeup and so forth. Theme music commission. Now, some of this stuff involves being legitimate, being professional, being authentic. When I create a piece of music, I would want it to be licensed. Samantha being the performer, and credit myself or Visionary Ventures as being, I guess myself as being the songwriter. So I'd want that, especially when I then I have plans to use Bison Disc to distribute my music on physical media, and then I have a Spotify account. Oh, I just created a Spotify account. I uploaded my I don't think I uploaded my immediately previous live stream, but I uploaded, I think, like the previous 5 live streams there, and I'm looking to branch out and do more audio podcasting as well. Basically taking the audio from these podcasts. This one wouldn't make much sense because it's all visual, but I'll figure something out for the audio podcast. Photography, that would be for Samantha. I already have a photographer who's interested in the idea, and this would for this price, or perhaps a little bit more, something like this price. We both reason that she could take pictures of me as Jeffrey and me as Samantha. So those are going to be figured out, what shots, what angles, professional angles, and so forth. So the ones of Samantha would then go into, for example, into the electronic press kit and so forth. Licensing, getting Visionary Ventures, an actual LLC. Hopefully nobody beats me to it, but and then at the bottom here, why these goals matter. Each upgrade helps me, basically develops the channel and get me more legitimacy. So let me get out of this. There we go. Now we're back here. See if there's anything else. I remember creating some video in here. I've already shown you these videos, so that's already in here. See, I did my homework. So I guess we're about 2 o'clock right now. Sorry again for the delay, but if you have somewhere to go, I'm not going to go overtime much. So thanks for watching. And I'll leave at the end. I'll leave that Vanity Ventures vanity card, since it's technically one of my videos produced in Visionary Ventures. hope you have a good week. Spread news to your friends. It's Visionary Ventures. My Buy Me a Coffee is buymeacoffee.com/Visionary Ventures. You know where to find me if you're watching this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.